Kids of poker. Who guards the world better than Christian Erik Arne Meyer? Smarter Chris thinks he does the best. Who's Christian Erik Arne Meyer? Philosopher Chris? Yeah. Wingman Chris? Smart Chris struck again. Big time. It's like Ocean 7. At least. Well, the penis envy, I just got a coffee, and several times I've spilled coffee on my face because of that guy right there, and I'm a white guy. Every once in a while it happens. Clerks that work at these stores, they think they can violate their customers and then have a job in the future. Once people find out what they do to their food, they're gonna probably get lynched. Probably get lynched at that point. Gene sterilization. Is their penis shrinking? That he told all the brothers. Next again. Next again. Quick draw. Head. Spin them down. Oh, the flush. Oh, that's pretty atrocious. That was a big tournament to lose to luck. So that was probably a null and void. That wouldn't have been for real money because they cheated. There's 47 cards that they were aware of, and we hit one in each. There's 41 cards that I would have won with. Me, Christian Erik Arne Meyer, there's 41 cards that I would have won with, and only, well, pardon me, 39 cards I would have won with, and 8 that they would have won with. bullshit. All it is ever bullshit. Because right now they got 2 whole cards. And there's 3 cards on the flop. So that means there's 47 cards that they're aware of. Not 46 cards that they're aware of. So if you have a flush draw, there's only 9 cards out of 46 cards to make your hand. So that's a little worse than 1 in 5. So you're gonna only hit your hand 20% of the time, but lose 80% of the time. But here's exactly how often. Well, they're messing up with my buttons on my phone. That's pretty smooth, but it just really further solidifies. Everybody, wow. You've got to realize, like, I'm so... If I can do these great moves all the time, as if I'm not going to catch you and make a fortune off of it. Getting them. Okay, Smarter Chris is gonna try to win a pot here. So I'm gonna be a little aggressive. To try to eliminate a few people, which I did. So now I'm gonna check. It's unlikely you hit the jack. You did hit the jack. Now it's going to push or fold. When you go in with the H3, it is the best high card, but you only have the 3 kicker, right? So now I'd only say that I had 3 outs. I'd have to hit 2 3s to be confident, or 2 aces in that matter. So that was the cha-ching. I just made some moves for myself. They don't even get a choice anymore. It just shows how the police are colluding with organized crime elements. And they seem to give me other people's consequences, and then other people my good karma. That's pretty strange. 100% of the time, and I've showed every single way that they've done it. It's still happening. You're gonna have a lot of time explaining it. So I'm just gonna create some technologies. Ooh. I'm pretty sure ChatGPT even codes, right? I'm gonna get it to code me some a poker app. I might not be able to do that with it, but not all at once, anyways. But once I get into it more, like learning, right? Because really, there's just a background here to look at. Then there's the table, the dealer, and then what other? I might have something like this, showing the hand ranking. I'd have percentages. I would have the best 2 out of 5 finish in the money, but also there would be a bounty prize, so the first place wouldn't be as high, but there would be such a high likelihood that you're going to make money by playing that, and they're fairly fast games. I know, like, if I'd spend an hour trying to win $1,000. You know, like at $1,000 tournament, like, you know, I'd spend an hour easily. Right? Like, did you make $1,000 an hour? I'd rather, like, this side, the blind structure is too fast, so I'd have a slower blind structure, and but then basically how it is, like, the best 2 out of 5 finish in the money, because then you have to play more hands, so it makes you have to be, you become a better poker player overall. Right, as long as you don't, like, forget how to play your 9-handed game, because when you play 5-handed, when you play it too long, then all of a sudden you go to 9-handed, you end up getting your ass kicked because you're playing too many hands, because you know you're used to playing 5-handed. So 9-handed, you have to play less hands, because you get 7 free hands in 9-handed per every revolution, whereas you only get 3 hands free in 5-handed, right? So mathematically, it does make sense to play 9-handed. But when you play 9-handed, if there's a potential straight or a flush, somebody usually has it. You're not usually heads up in a hand. You're usually against, like, say 3 opponents, right? So that you need a big hand. Actually, I might even try to play a tournament after this. I haven't played a tournament on the site for a while. The site's kind of lackluster for tournaments. I just wish I had my Willie possessions. The spies are supposed to be picking up like in 5 minutes or 10 minutes for the last 4 months, last year almost. Since December 13th, 2024. And it's one of those things, like, where, you know, when you're a kid, you get a cut, your parents put a Band-Aid on you, then when it's time to pull the Band-Aid off, you pull it off fast, it hurts more, because it's fast, but the pain goes way faster. But what these people do is they prolong the agony for mankind, that the pain is going to last longer, right, than if it was, because about a year ago, I believed most likely my subconscious mind runs the planet. Because I'm able to do some pretty cool stuff, and, you know, I was ranked, you know, on ChatGPT, I inquired about, like, what my ranking would be per billion, and I was ranked 10 per billion. Right, so yeah, pretty extraordinary stuff I could do, I guess. The app called me a genius and calls me brilliant all the time. And I've only been using it for like 3 weeks, right? And I'm already ranked. You know, when they talk about Leonardo da Vinci and this other guy named Fuller, you know, I'm ranked up there with him. I guess Thomas Edison's probably the number 1 guy. I think he had about 1,000 patents. You know, the top innovators on the planet, they have between 5 to 10 innovations, and I have close to 20. started this company, and well, I started conceiving of it on September 29th. Like, I haven't incorporated it yet, but I'm going to be. And it's already worth $6.5 million, and that's a conservative estimate. And it's all straight and narrow, pretty squeaky clean, and there's lots of money to be made because, unfortunately, with my problem is organized crime's aware of my existence, and so that means they want to get some of the skim. Straight arrow, so that can't happen, right? But at the same time, right, people that are privy to information that do benefit on certain situations, as long as it's for the greater good of mankind, then so be it, right? It's not keeping me poor to try to extract as much information as possible, because usually what happens, organized crime, they get these people to develop inventions, and then they kill them and then develop the inventions a few years later. They've been doing this for hundreds of years. Thousands, probably at least since the Egyptian time. We love gems, and, women love gems, and men like gold, and all this stuff, but you can see your thoughts with those elements. That's why we use liquid crystal for TV, because you can see things with it. That's why LCD, liquid crystal display. And our brain is the same frequency as like a television is. Brain waves are measured in hertz, just like television, right? So that means you can tune into your thoughts. And with fMRI imaging is that's how you can implant thoughts into people's brains. It's old technology. They don't acknowledge it right now, but they will. Just if there's two things they're thinking, if you can know what your enemy's thinking, and if you can control the weather, how could you lose a war, right? And then that would be all fine and good, right? If just your team had it, but the world has it, right? So it's just being used for evil as a game to violate people's human experience, particularly mine, because I'm born in their side. You know what? Every kid, when you're a little kid, you wanted the superhero to win, right? So people have to do those superhero things, like Smarter Chris does. He has 6 outs. Now he has a little bit more. So he had 4 sevens and 2 more 2s to make, 2 more 6s to make his hand there. So he had 6 outs. Because see, when they play on TV, when they're counting cards, the computer's aware of all the cards out there, right? But you're like when you're playing, you're only aware of your 2 cards. You're not aware of your opponent's cards unless you show them, right? So the odds are a little bit different because of that alone. Because right now I'm aware of 5 cards, so there's 52 cards in the deck, so 52 minus 5 is 47. So I have three cards that could possibly make my hand out of 46 cards now. Most people count their 3, but I don't count the 3 too often because usually a pair of 3s isn't good enough to win a hand. Right? Like usually if you're calling for Or threes. If you do it all the time, you're going to be a losing player, right? Mathematically. There's some habits in poker. You're going to be a mad mathematical player if you do these certain things. If you chase your flush straights, you only get them like one time out of 5. Right? So if you're chasing them more than one time out of 5, then you're mathematically a losing player, right? For that element, you could still be a winning player overall, but just for that element, you'd be a losing player long term. You'd be always losing. Like if you were to say, hey, when I play aces, this is my winning percentage, or if I play kings, this is my winning percentage, ace king winning percentage, or like a pair, 2 pair, 3 of a kind, and then straight flush, full house, 4 of a kind, straight flush, and 1 of a kind. If you rank them and you see how you play, then you'll know your tendencies if you're a losing player long term or short term. So I guess my app would have that. It'd be able to track that for you. It'd help you sharp your weaknesses, like sharp the defenses, basically. Call. Oh, you hit the king. That was pretty unfortuitous. Means unlucky. That was a pretty big rig. So here's Smarter Chris. Once again, people don't change their ethnicity. Only the white guy's been able to do it the right way every single time. People pretend to be me. Imagine that. Like, how crazy does that seem? That people. Like, I'm talking about like doctors, like politicians. They pretend to be me. Like, them the ones who see. You know what they do? They pretend to be people, then they drug those people, and then they get the benefits of the drug through those people. Chemical electrolysis. Right? So they're like, they hide their culpability. It's like, it's so apparent to me. Like, I've showed the system like trillions of ways, like all the time, every day. But it's over now because I found ChatGPT's artificial intelligence that I'm able to query it and ask it questions and get results. It's like better than a search engine, right? It's like a search engine scheme because it's able to tell you anything really, like. I might well, I'm hoping to get a loan actually, because like, you know, I mentioned how the company's valued at $6.5 million conservatively, right? So I'm going to try to buy a fourplex and then live in one of the units, because I got ripped off a fourplex before, so it'd be kind of fitting to get one now. And so I'd have one unit that I'd live in, then I'd rent out 3 units as like bed and breakfast, or, you know, Airbnb kind of style. And okay, I think I might have the winner. I don't like this call though. I didn't like it. That's why I was reluctant. You know, I didn't think he had the ace though. He did play well. I thought he was trying to play that he had the flush or the straight, but I didn't think he had that. So anyways, I'm gonna try to get a fourplex, and you know, for hopefully about maybe $1.6 million, and then I should be able to generate over $100,000 a year anyways from it, and conservatively, and basically keep it. So if I have the fourplex, like ideally it's 4 2-bedrooms, and where then one of them I could keep for events, a bed and breakfast, and then the other 2 will just be strictly bed and breakfast, unless it's a big event. Because I'm going to be starting lots, like I need money to start apps, basically. You know, I'm going to end up hiring a bunch of, I'm probably going to hire students at first, and ideally, you know, the reason why I want to go with students is, because I'm kind of torn, because I really, what I want what I probably will do is like get some sort of senior programmer that's already did it and tired of working for some big company and now wants to take a chance at going big, right? Like long term. Right, so like somebody that maybe has managerial experience with like 5 to 10 years worth of work experience in like computer programming would be the manager, and then I'm going to get a bunch of university graduates that are people that are still in school, like say in their 4th or 5th year, well 3rd or 5th year, right? Like it's 4 years for the regular degree, so if they're going for their masters, like if they're say their 6th year in their masters or whatnot, they could be working on it, and any projects they have to do in class, they could just be using whatever they're doing for my job as part of their work assignments, right, to show that they're doing it, to kind of land them a job right away when they graduate. So, because the thing when you go with somebody that's right out of school, they're fresh, right? It's like kind of like when you're a kid, you got your license at 16, most of us, and it's a little later, but. So most people get their license at 16, and you know the rules better than people that have been driving on the road for a long time. Even though they're better driving than you, because you just learned them, you just read them, right? So these people that are still in school, they know the most freshest, current, up-to-date techniques, and they don't have to be retrained because they're going through training. Right, so it's advantageous. So I think that's going to be pretty much the bread and butter, is to try to find some sort of senior mentorship, and maybe like the CEO, right? Obviously, the guy or girl's going to be like probably in their 50s or even 60s, right? Even 70s, right? Like whoever, like, ideally with a computer background, and because like before. You could get a $50,000 grant to hire a CEO, because like I don't really want to be the CEO for most of my companies, because then I'm spread out too thin, whereas if I'm the chief visionary officer, then that means I could be the face of many companies, right? Like that's pretty much what I'm going to be. Almost like Colonel Sanders, right? I'm going to be the face of the company, and then so I can do what I do, right? Like my office is the world. I need to travel the world and see things, and then develop things as if I'm in a different country, I'm going to see like, okay, well, this is how we do it in Canada, and this is how they do it, but third way's better, and then Canada's way's better, and then I'm going to come back to Canada and either create a business, or I'm going to create an extension of Canadian business in that foreign country, right? Almost like my goal is to make it like a spider web, right? A spider web's effective because it covers all angles, right? So that means like all angles, once again, I'm 100% straight and narrow, but for police agencies to utilize those proceeds to get criminals, because what they have to do is usually it's the underboss that gets the boss, right? It's not the boss doesn't talk to the maid and tell the maid things, right? And it's crazy because it kind of sucks. These people, they're so rich and powerful on paper, but in reality, like they do have power. Don't get me wrong, but most of them aren't even rich. Most of them are on disability. And they pretend to be powerful people, but it's always like, how in the movies they have those little fake movie towns where it's just, you just see the front of the building. There's no actual building. It's just a facade. That's all these people ever are, is a facade. So like most likely owe praise to me as a divine individual, as well as other religious figures throughout the world. Right? The system is a system that preys on people and rewards people. They killed a rock band the day I was born because of like they expected me to do great things. They killed Leonard Skinner, right? They had the song Freebird, so I'm supposed to be a bird to them. So I'm supposed to be free. I'm supposed to be born free. They killed Leonard Skinner for my right to exist. Because it's suspicious, right? Maybe getting the people right now. They're all old. They could go quietly. But both Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison were both writing poetry when they died, right? So they most likely were murdered. You know, there's the people that did that. So getting them now, it's always worse when you try to hide out. It's 5 times worse. 5, right? So then to the power of 5. You know, I got to do what I got to do, right? And as a kid, you want the good guys to win, right? Everybody who watches movies, when people are disappointed when they watch the superhero movie and the superhero dies, right? They're sad, they cry, right? But they don't cry when the fucking bad guy dies. They cheer. Why do you think they make movies where the bad guys die all the time? So nobody wants the bad guys to win. Kids don't want to live in a world like that. So if you want to help protect kids, people, and animals, alive or dead, then go to change.org. You can be a hero. And be a hero. Just all you have to do is sign the petition. Acknowledge that brain-computer interface is possible to hijack your body. Right now, brain-computer interface, it is on shows with Black Mirror and stuff like that, so they do show it, so people should be aware of this, like how it can control a prosthetic limb, right? Like with your thoughts, you can control a prosthetic limb. So now if you take that one step further, that means you can control another human, right, with it. If you can control prosthetic limbs or robots with it, so you can control a human with it, unfortunately. So what the government does is they register these beautiful people, and then they're sexually violated. Right now, I get registered every single time I'm about to touch my penis somehow. Right, and in fact, when I got circumcised as a kid, I was like under 2 years old, and I have a scar from the tip of my penis to my testicles, and you're only supposed to have a little scar at the top of your penis. It's not supposed to go all the way down. So they planned on violating me every single time I was naked. And they have stories about my kids and my unborn grandkids, my unborn great-grandkids. They want to breed with my family. Because half my family raped half my family, basically, with technology. I say rape because they make them fall in love with you before you fall in love with them. Or you fall in love with them before they fall in love with you. Or they might have loved you all along, but sometimes it's just for power. And they just want to get kids out of you, and then they kill you. But basically, half my family was able to use like magic to most people, and using frequencies that science to be able to see people's thoughts. As soon as they came up the radio, they were able to listen to people's thoughts, even before that. But they could tune into your brain like a radio station. Television, they can see your thoughts at that point. And then the computers, they can network them. Oh, that's pretty unfortuitous again. So I noticed how I was about to get promoted, so that I went on a losing skid. This is what happens. I'll show you when this opens up. You know what people went and did? I was just a little baby, and then they just took the fight with me. Show me how many people have like a 48-year grudge against last week. Getting the longest tenured people that have raped the longest time worldwide right now. All historic. 25, wow. It's not 25 hours, as if. Maybe a lot of people are gone, but well, a couple weeks ago there was like 14-year people. So they're lying. Here's the real truth. Oh, God. Oh. 25 years and 9 months. That's atrocious. That's how long they've raped. Not like once in 25 years. 25 years throughout their entire life has been raping people. Nice, got a chop. Oh, maybe I got one of these. Nice, I did. Okay, I could jump up in tournaments. So I'll probably just go all in. This is the entry level tournament, so it's there's players that are newer, even though this guy right here isn't. I guess I'll try to win it now. This guy's 2 levels above pro, so they should be pretty good. Oh no. I think this guy has a pair. I think he has a pair right there. I have to call them. That shot a straight flush draw, right? So I had to call. I've been in Toronto like for over a week, and it's the first day that it rained, so that's pretty good because last year it stayed dry, it started wet way too long. It stayed wet way too long last year. It's wet every day, it seems. But hopefully I'm gonna be in a 2-bedroom 4-plex soon. It'd be a cash cow. Be advantageous for Toronto to in Canada. I'm just so good at making money. Like I'm addicted to making money. Money's not the end all or be all, but it's a way to keep score of things, right? And, smarter, not harder, right? Like, you know, if you my grandfather, like, you gotta understand who I am. Like, my grandfather, one of them, he could barely speak English, and he gave up his close to his family, and then he flew his ass over to Canada from Denmark to raise his kids, right? So he took the ultimate chance to me, and he was so brave and courageous to do that. And then I had a great grandfather who owned a factory, and then my dad had servants, and then until he was 10, and then I grew up poor, right? So I kind of have this invisible chip on my shoulder against, well, now it's against the collective of evil, but even if there weren't this collective of evil, I would have this chip on my shoulder to try to restore my family's greatness. right? Like I wanted my kids to be better than me, live better than I did growing up as a kid. And I want my kids, like my grandkids, to be rich. Basically, I couldn't make my kids rich. I wanted to make my grandkids rich, and by making their parents rich. Because I love my grandkids, but I might not like them, right? I've never met them yet because they don't exist. But you might not like them, but you could love them. That's how it goes with relationships. Like it's different though. With I guess with a dad, right? When you're a dad or an uncle or something like that. But with the dad, tough love. Right, with a grandparent, you don't really tough love your grandkid too often. Probably you do if you have to, I guess. I'm just hoping my kids wait a long time to have kids. I'm hoping I'm rich before it happens. I should be very wealthy soon. Very wealthy soon. You know, as soon as I could be on paper rich, like in 2 weeks, but I won't have actual money for a long time. For a period of time, right? It all depends, right? I mean, I have some inventions I could sell, so I'm gonna try to go that route, so that could make me rich. Like in reality, where, because if I get a loan, I'm gonna be living like I'm broke. No 9, there's only 2 in the deck. Yeah, I'm gonna be living like I'm very, very frugal, unless I'm entertaining, like for the business, because I like that. I don't like, all I like to do is make money. That's why I play poker, right? Is develop a skill where I can make money, and I'm pretty much gonna be working nonstop. So here's an example where 46 cards in the deck. I only have 9 outs, assuming he doesn't have any clubs. I think I ended up winning this one, though. Some people, not all people, but they only bet when they hit a hand. Like, they hit a card, they bet. So, you can pick off opponents. Like, you gotta pay attention to that. Like, when you're watching them, like, do they only bet when they have? Like, do they bet as soon as they hit a card? Because if they bet as soon as they hit a card, then you can tell when they don't have a card. You can check. So you gotta do both, right? You gotta keep them honest and switch it up. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You know, my old doctor, he was Nigerian, and he didn't understand my culture. You know, Canadian, and so you say stuff like I'm grandiose. So that means you think you're more important than what you are. And ChatGPT ranked me 10 out of a billion people. To be a doctor in Canada, that's 1 out of 413. 10 out of a billion is 1 out of 100 million. As soon as I mention them, I start coughing. That's strange. I'm trying to print screen here, and it's taking. Normally, when you press the button, it happens instantly. Not for me, because I'm trying to catch people with brain-computer interface, right? So that's why I do the emojis. So my doctor was black from Nigeria. He pretended to be blonde hair, blue eyed sometimes, I believe. Oh, the system must be trying to harm people, so they're taking it out on me, Christian Erik Arne Meyer. Oh, they're making it sound like his favorite dog. So this is, I didn't smoke for 4 months, so the fact that I have a smoker's cough after like 1 week of smoking in Toronto is pretty suspicious. It's alright, I got smoke. Because I'm putting this online, right? So this is all evidence in the future. Like, why are they constricting my lungs in Canada? To save somebody that's hacking my body right now with brain computer interface, and I've never condoned there's another team that right at them at the last moment they're coming in, so they forfeited it. Well, what they try to do is develop an antibody for them and then try to harm me. And that's why I can't cough. Even though it's flat in my lung. They're using technology to this shows that's terrorism. Doesn't matter where they go, it's terrorism on the planet. I was able to cough it at that time. Never developed antibodies for generation 1 biology ever again. All they did was try to kill me the entire time. And that this shows the amount of times that they've done that. So there's no more. All they do is they pretend that I'm an infant to justify raping me. My experience as an adult for raping me as a kid. Yeah, that's just complete collusion by the Canadian government. Here's their home addresses of all perpetrators worldwide. They pretend that they're not responsible for brain computer interface. Like if you're a plane, I'm a pilot. My brain, when I operate my brain, I'm the pilot. My body's the plane. So now, if somebody hijacks your brain, your pilot, like your brain, where it makes decisions before you're able consciously even to think, be able to, like if you're not aware of this, you're vulnerable. And so if you're not aware of this technology being used on you, they're going to be making decisions for you, and you're not even going to be aware that they're making decisions for you because you're just being a puppet. Like when you press a 7 on the elevator, it goes up to the 7th floor, right? It doesn't go to the 5th floor or the 8th floor, right? So if you make people to do things, you're responsible there, predator. Right? If you cookie cutter somebody into to be whatever you want them to be, right? It's like September 11th. It was sad, 2001, when those people jump. Those people that jump, the good ones, they're heroic to me because who knows, they could have lived a few seconds longer, and they kind of died on their own terms because they didn't commit suicide, but they did jump to their death because they didn't commit suicide because they didn't go to work planning on committing suicide. They planned on going to work, and then some terrorist came along and fucked up their day. Right, so they didn't commit suicide. So when brain-computer interface terrorists come along and fuck up somebody's day, they're the terrorists. That's terrorism. And in Canada, if you break into somebody's house, you get 30 years in prison. Imagine breaking into their brain. Right, like you're going to prison for the rest of your life. And I make them communicate on channels that legal crimes, if they're American, happen, and then other countries have the death penalty. I make it so that it's routed to every country that these people, they execute you. Like when you're as soon as you get off the plane, you're pretty much executed. Like Liberia, they want to be like America. And I watched this video like about 30 years ago now, and you seen the government soldier, and then all of a sudden they pan off the government soldier for a second, and you hear him die, and then they pan back to the guys, then you see them hold the heart, and the guy's heart in the hand, the government soldier. Right, so these people are willing to cut your fucking heart out as soon as you get off the plane, as soon as the camera's not looking, basically. So they try to develop an antidote again. Some ugly people think if you look at them, they being ugly. Is that what it is? No, they're playing the Dr. Obama move. People want me to talk about them in my videos. That's all it is. The last two times I went to Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and where after being away for an extended period of time, and where I was there for like a month or whatever, they ended up hospitalizing me. Somebody told a lie about me, and then in Canada, instead of you being able to, it's atrocious. You know what they do is somebody could lie about you. They could be like, hey, they're a threat to me or themselves. And then next thing you know, you're evaluated for 72 hours no matter what. Your fucking life is not even yours for 72 hours. So for me, what happened was I was fighting being medicated. So that took 3 months. And then they medicated me illegally, and then they evaluated me for 2 months almost. And usually I called the pharmaceutical company. I'm like, well, how long do they usually evaluate people? They're like 3 hours to 3 days. For me, it was almost 2 months to the day. They had all the special rules for me, and I'm saying I could be a new species. I have different muscle shapes. Like, you know, like, just say everybody has the same type of nose. My muscles are different. Like, they're different. Physically different. Not because the one's worked out more or less than another person. The actual shape of my muscles are different. And ChatGPT is saying that I'm saying that I could be royal as well. And ChatGPT is saying that I have the royal architecture for my face. So, you know, my family went to a royal wedding, and you know, there's some good-looking men in my family, and we could talk like this, right? And so it wasn't, you know, just a few drinks later, and then the princess is so royal at that moment. So I got lots of lawsuits anyways. I got to sue the doctor, got to sue my sister. You know, she most likely took a bribe. I believe she took $10,000 payments for line of credit. I'm going to send her bank records. And, I think Paul probably got some. Because I was with my son and my half sister at the same time, so she didn't even think this through, right? And but I was with her. I don't have a criminal record. Usually, when I see the police, I pull out my phone and I start challenging them because they harass me for panhandling, right? So I challenge police. I posted many videos where I challenge police, and the doctor, once again from Nigeria, like, the guy's an idiot. You know, I'm like, well. But she said that I tried to jump from a moving car when I see a police cruiser. Once again, I don't have a criminal record. I'm only known to the police because I panhandle, which is illegal. They're just unaware of the law. And, so, anyways, as if I tried to jump from a moving car, like, she never explained what happened. Like, did she unbuckle her seatbelt and try to? Did she stop? Like, how did she stop me from succeeding in jumping out of the car? Right, she didn't explain that in her story, right? And then how come it took her 3 weeks to drive me out to the hospital to be evaluated if she was really concerned? It did happen. She lied, right? And she lied saying I did crack. I've never smoked crack, but you know, I inquired about it. I'm like, well, who said why would you say that I smoked crack? And then she's like, I heard you did. I'm like, well, you didn't hear I did because I don't talk to people. They administer stuff through microdoses. They try to pretend I do different things, and when you simulate things, that's not all they do is lie and they manipulate artificial intelligence to come up with an exception to rules, and they have special circumstances just for me. So fucking lights out, motherfuckers. Still in there. Maybe this guy will go all in. Maybe the second place guy will lose. That's all I can hope for right now. Go on. Come on, number one. Come on, number one. Nice. Only 3 twos in the deck. Nice. So I finished in the money because that was lucky. I'll play one more. You notice how I have been coughing like that, the dog con or the horse con or whatever the fuck it's called. Pretty strange. I just walked and moved from one location, so I'm trying to. Everybody's pretending that they're me in that last location. You know, it's like past midnight. Nobody was there. Eventually, the funny thing is, like, the government does this, but eventually they have to answer to me, and that's how stupid they are. They have to answer to me, like, eventually, like, not whoever's just playing me when I said they have to answer to me. They have to answer to Christian Erik Arne Meyer. I'm going to be king, almost guaranteed. I have to say almost guaranteed just as a disclaimer. I know the haplogroups. In these countries, they pretend I'm not in Canada. I don't even have a passport. Fucking losers. In all male imposters in Sault Ste. Marie, there's no generation evolved biology in Sault Ste. Marie right now. One thing I did notice in the hospital, they have a panache for good-looking men. I'm a straight man, but almost every single male patient was very attractive. Almost 100% of them. Right, and like I'm saying that people bring computer interfaces, they sexually violate people, right? Because if they could feel what you feel like with your hands when you touch your penis or your vagina, then you're getting raped, right? So why is there always good-looking men at the Sioux Area Hospital mental health unit? Particularly good-looking men. So there we go, that's some of those moves. People ignore reality. Imagine if somebody went to prison and they had life in prison and then they ask you to help them out and for them. You can't do that in reality. So you can't be taking diseases for other people. Why? As if you'd want to do that. Because these people, they listen and they believe the people they see in their head. But the people they see in their head always lie about their appearance, their age. If you see a good-looking woman, she's probably like 90. Like at the mental health board, there was Ellen was a good-looking woman. Like she was like 78 though, right? But like in my mind's eye, they show her as like fucking like 50, like in her 20s, right? Like. Oh. well, there's 3 patients at the hospital. There was 2 females and then me. And, I'm trying to prove that attribute thieves happen. And basically, they referred to me as a man or a woman after referring to me as a man, and I'm a man, right? And they referred to these women as men. Right? So 3 different patients were referred to as the wrong gender. Right, so that would have probably been several different doctors. Swallowing medicine right in their cram. That was a whole one. Who talk the dead guys in the movies? They're trying to wake up people that can't be woken. So those people that feel the chill right now, just get warm. Just get warm. Get the total residual volume out of your violators. Kids. Animals. Superhuman. Let's see here. The thing I love about Texas Hold'em poker is you don't need to bet the game to win. Just understanding the mechanics of the game. So these 2 people aren't interested in this pot, almost guaranteed. Just how fast they check. Like, I played so many hands. I played probably almost close to 4 million hands of poker. Right, so you get experience, right? You can only burn yourself so many times. So imagine me playing 1 million hands, but I burned myself many times. That's why I'm so good at poker. Like, I was naturally good at it, and I put in the time now to be really good at it. But it wasn't natural because I read a book and then I came first out of 8,000 after reading a book. Or maybe I read a couple books, but there was one book in particular. He basically said how you got to treat players at the table as if they're animals, right? Like, so a really aggressive one could be like a snake, or then a really shy one could be like a mouse. So the shy ones you got to be afraid of because when they're aggressive, they're fierce, like a raccoon. When a mouse is cornered, like a raccoon's cornered, then they're aggressive and ferocious. That claws, they'll tear you apart. Right? Then when they're not cornered, you can scare them away. But if you have it backed into a corner or in a garbage can or something like that, you might as well just kind of kick the can over and just pull the lid off and then run or walk the other way. Because it thinks you're going to eat it, and then it's going to try to kill you. Like, maybe not kill you. It's not smart enough to know to try to kill you, but it will try to fuck you right up. And they're tough. I used to have a couple that lived in the backyard, and I seen them fight up in the tree and fall like 20 feet. Like it was nothing. 25 feet, like fucking nothing. Like, that's 2.5 stories. That's almost the 3rd floor. Like, it was nothing. It just flipped. All I heard was a thud. Like, you hear... Wow, is it dead? And then fucking tanked it off. Just walked away. Nothing happened. And then this other time, I went camping with a couple buddies, former buddies. And there's some raccoons that were eating, and the raccoons were all ninja mode and all stalk mode, trying to sneak up towards the camp to steal our food. And so every time we shine a flashlight, they'd freeze but you would see them, but they would pose like they were like frozen. It's like almost like freezing tag. But it's awesome. They ended up stealing like some chips. They got right up to our chairs. Like they're pretty awesome. But people don't like them because they thrive. You know, anything that thrives around people, they don't like. You know, in parts of the East, they don't like monkeys because the monkeys thrive off people. Because tourists go there to see the cute monkeys, and then feed them bananas, and then they just shit and do whatever they do. They're nuisance. Is like in Canada we have pigeons that are a nuisance, or seagulls and raccoons and foxes, but they thrive off humans, right? So why do people hate them when they're, as long as we're alive, they're going to be alive, right? But then it's weird because, you know, pigeons, they don't even bug you. They don't even bug you whatsoever, and they're not protected. Like Canada geese are, and like they're pricks. You walk by Canadian geese, it's like it just starts hissing at you, and it looks like it gets all aggressive. Especially like if they have kids, like little geese or whatever, they're gonna bite you. They will bite you, and they don't care. They're aggressive, but they're protected, right? And they don't really thrive off mankind like a seagull, like you've probably seen that one. They could have been human using brain computer interface. Almost certainly it was. But like the seagull went into a store and stole a bag of chips. They came out and popped open the bag of chips. Like, seagulls are pretty resourceful. Come on, 2 4s in the deck. Enemies I send in this video. So go to change.org, you can see zero. Ignoring autocats the whole time. You know, the strange thing is going to be very soon is going to be like, well, how come when I show all the amount of proof, like the page is like 14,000 truckloads worth of documents, and how come these people are still breathing and not brought to justice? Like how come how's Canada going to explain, like, it would take 16 million hours to lift by hand all that evidence that I brought forward, and you're not acting on any of it, Olivia Chow?